Assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. Tap in, family. Tap in. This video is about to reveal a lot. So I need y'all to tap in with me right now. This is your brother, Malcolm Flex TV. We back, man, and come on, man. And Allah, God is empowered. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Christ, is empowered. Okay, and we love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So we need y'all to tap in, man, because it's about to get real. Peace to you, brother Poker Face. Man, and so this is part 2 from last night's video. Okay, this is part 2 from last night's video because I want you to go and check the link in the description that I posted. Because there was something that was said by our elder, okay, Melchesidek, which I found to be very strange. Walaikum salam, brother Derek. Yeah, I found it to be very revealing and very strange hearing what this brother said in this video. And I'm not going to play the actual video clip. That's why I posted the link in the description because, you know, Neter, he's the type of brother that he'll flag your page for posting his content on your page, okay, if you're exposing this brother, right? So I had some mental notes that I had to write down, right? So I can, you know, share with you all in regards to what has been taking place. Walaikum salam to you, brother Sabir. What has been taking place in these interviews between Neter and Melchesidek. So I had to write some notes, and also Allah has blessed me with some insight into what this man has said, and I'm going to show you some things that we may overlook as confirmation to the wisdom of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and that's why this video is named, Are You a Part of a Conspiracy and Not Know It? Right? So I wrote 3 main points, and then I'm going to go into the meat of the subject. Right? The first point is, and I'm going to read it from my phone because I had to write these notes down. I'm going to read it to y'all. Discipline is vital to protecting and preserving our Black nation and future generations. Because we lack discipline, always jumping at the opportunity to get in front of a camera to tear one another down. That's the true definition of clout chasing. Clout chasing is when one who is less known tries to tear down someone who is more known to boost oneself up to achieve unearned esteem and recognition. In short, to build our own platform through controversy. And our enemies use our words against us, creating division and bloodshed between the righteous. We are being used as a tool for the enemy. And with the power of social media, the enemy doesn't even have to use that tactic anymore because we do it to ourselves. But some of us know better. Are you a part of a conspiracy and not know it? Right? So what we see that is taking place on these social media platforms with members of our own community, they are knowingly or unknowingly being used as a tool for the enemy, right? Just because we want to fulfill our personal desires, right? Next point, right? Now, if this applies to you, you know, all praise is due to Allah. If it don't apply to you, all praises is due to Allah. But listen to these points, and I'm going to reveal some information. We want to look into the intent and the motives of these brothers for constantly coming at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Point number 2. And do you want to know if you are a real black nationalist? Everybody claiming to be nationalists nowadays. Now it's a popular thing to be a part of nowadays, right? If you are a personality on social media, right? And do you want to know if you're a real black nationalist? A real black nationalist is one who can unite the black nationalist movement. He or she will include every one of us who has the same common cause, purpose, and enemy. Just as J. Edgar Hoover said, we must, and I quote, we must prevent the rise of a black messiah who can unify and electrify the black nationalist movement, right? They needed to prevent the rise of someone who can unify black nationalists, right? Farrakhan is that messiah because he has done that time and time again. So naturally, those who divide up the black nationalist movement are peace breakers, agents, and informants who may be pro bono or contractually working on behalf of the government and ultimately white supremacy. Are you a part of a conspiracy and don't even know it? So that applies to someone like a Sonetta, applies to someone like a Melchesidek, a young Pharaoh, Sarai Seti. Why? Because how can you be a real black nationalist if all your content and the message that you are promoting is to promote division among the black nationalist movement? Right? Because a real, true black nationalist is trying to unite the black nationalist movement. And that's the whole purpose and goal of a messiah figure. Okay? And why do I say that that is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan? Because he has shown time and time again, and we see evidence of his works during his calls to the Million Man Marches, bringing and uniting together black people from all walks of life and not judging and condemning all people. And that segue into point number 3, right? Because I was taking notes after I did my live video last night that I didn't get to say in last night's video, right? Point number 3. Do you all want to know why Minister Farrakhan doesn't verbally attack those who attack him? It's because when the enemy kills you, I'm going to repeat that, started from the top. Do you all want to know why Minister Farrakhan doesn't verbally attack those who attack him? It's because when the enemy kills you, they can't blame it on him. That's right. Our enemies hate the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan so much that they will kill you just to blame it on him. And the reason the minister is so wise today is because he learned the lesson from yesterday and he knows not to make the same mistake twice. Fool me once, shame on you. But fool me twice, shame on me. Could you be a part of a conspiracy and not even know it? That's how much this enemy despises the presence and the message that is coming out of the mouth of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that they will kill those who may be in opposition to him just so they can blame it on him, to bring him down. To bring him down, right? That's how wickedly wise the enemy truly is, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is being divinely guided by Almighty God Allah. So that's why he don't come out and verbally attack those who attack him. So now, to get into the meat of this conversation, right? And this is highly important of what I'm about to say, right? And I post a link to the article. Now, in the video that our elder Melchesidek, which he did an interview with Neter just recently. And he is talking about, he's going after Nation of Islam's leadership. That is the whole tone of his conversation, right? He's going after the leadership of the Nation of Islam. He's going after the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He went after the Supreme Captain, and he went after the Sister Supreme Captain. He went after, in another video, he went after Brother Abdul Rahman. He went after Minister Farrakhan's son, Joshua. He's going after the leadership of the Nation of Islam, right? But in that video that I'm describing, this brother specifically said, and I posted the link to Neter's video to the interview in my description. This brother said in the video that Homeland Security called him, and he was on the phone with Homeland Security for 3 hours. His words. And they said they appreciate and they honor him. And they was bigging him up, giving him props, saying that he was able to quote and speak the words of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad 100% right and exact. This is his words that he said in that video. So when he said that, that stood out to me, and it was very odd that this brother would say this on a live video in an interview, that they called him and he was on the phone with them 3 hours. Bro, what do you have to say to this enemy to where you on the phone with the enemy for 3 hours straight? And he said that they wanted to ask him some questions. His words. This is not what your brother is saying. His words. So, I'm just doing my little research, because that's how, that's what I do. And allow me to stumble across a Final Call newspaper article, right? I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Allow me to stumble across a Final Call newspaper article titled "The Nation of Islam Targeted by Homeland Security," right? Again, this brother was on the phone 3 hours with Homeland Security, right? But wait till we read this article, because it's about to blow your mind like it blew mine. Okay? Right. So now let's read. And remember, keep at the forefront of what this brother is talking about in his interviews. He's going after Nation of Islam leadership. Now, it reads, I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm going to try to blow it up for y'all. Chicago. Revelations that the Department of Homeland Security gathered, held, and distributed intelligence information on the Nation of Islam drew condemnation from analysts and civil liberties advocates and left 2 black congressmen expressing concern about whether the operation was proper. A lawsuit filed by the Electronic Frontier Foundation and American Civil Liberties Union uncovered the targeting of the Nation of Islam as the advocacy groups sought information on the extent of some domestic intelligence operations, right? I'm going to show you what them domestic intelligence operations consist of. News of the intelligence activity was carried December 16th by newspapers, websites, television, and radio, with such programs as the nationally syndicated Warren Ballantine Show and his host objecting to the activity. While newspaper reports said Homeland Security improperly gathered information in 2007 as part of its speculation about who might succeed the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Let me back it up for you. While the newspaper report said Homeland Security improperly gathered information in 2007 as a part of its speculation, family, about who might succeed the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the leader of the Nation of Islam. Again, when you put it in rewind and you go back and you listen to these interviews, who is this brother verbally attacking? He's verbally attacking members of Nation of Islam leadership. The brother, and then he says, oh, I don't mean disrespect, and then turn around disrespecting our leadership. He disrespected Dr. Wesley Muhammad. He disrespected Student Minister Nuri, and the list goes on and on, right? So we want to know what the context of those 3-hour conversations you was having with the Homeland Security. Okay, we want to know the contents of that conversation. And I'm going to continue. A review of the documents released shows federal officials admitted holding the report beyond a specific time period and saw that as a violation. One official, however, defended the surveillance as part of the job of this division, right? Now, this is important. I'm about to give you the name of this operation. The agency admitted that on October 12, 2017, the Department of Intelligence and Analysis, the INA, released a document titled Nation of Islam, Uncertain Leadership Succession Poses Risk. Somebody type that in the chat for me. The document title that was released by the Department of Intelligence and Analysis was called Nation of Islam, Uncertain Leadership Succession Poses a Risk. So how does the succession of the Nation of Islam's leadership poses a risk to Homeland Security? And when you go back and you listen to Melchesidek's conversation, he said in Soneta's interview that Homeland Security had been watching all his videos and content. And he was happy to say that. He was like, it was almost like he was gleeful and he was joyful just to say that. So if Homeland Security is watching all of his videos, then who else videos or what other black YouTubers who oppose the Nation of Islam are they watching and are they contacting? Think about this. This is a big revelation that they are watching black YouTubers. So how many of them are contractually working with them, and how many of them are being used unknowingly as a tool to assist them? Because think about it. In these interviews that Soneta is doing, why is he always asking people who's going to take over leadership of the Nation of Islam? And this brother is not in the Nation of Islam. See, I don't know if we have revealed what's going on and who's going to do what after the minister make his departure, but it's none of y'all business, right? So as we continue, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, I posted the link of the article in the description so y'all can read everything for yourselves. Right? But let me read what an attorney said. I'm going to read what one of the attorneys on the whole situation said. It says, Attorney Nathan Cardozo, a legal fellow for the Electronic Frontier Foundation, filed the first Freedom of Information Act related to this case in February 2008. One of the lead attorneys on this suit, Attorney Cardozo, said initially he didn't know what they would find, but what did turn up surprised him and his fellow lawyers. This particular request, he quoted, we made was not directed at finding any specific documents, and we certainly weren't expecting to find the stuff that we did, said Attorney Cardozo. Obviously, all sorts, hold on, let me bring it down so y'all can read it with me. He said, obviously, all sorts of interesting stuff has fallen out. He said, adding that the language and reported information was not comforting to free speech and human rights advocates. We had no clue that the Nation of Islam was going to be mentioned or had been targeted. Attorney Cardozo said the actual report on the nation was not made public. According to news reports, information was gathered from open sources beginning around February 2007, with agency officials violating protocols by taking longer than 180 days to determine whether the group and those been spying upon constituted an intelligence nexus, requiring further investigation. The actual documents made public are available on the Electronic Frontier Foundation website. But let me go down a little bit because there was something else that was key. Hold on one second. Because they go into COINTELPRO in the 50s and 60s and stuff as well. And they talk about J. Edgar Hoover's program and everything. Okay. Ron Daniels, president of the Institute of the Black World 21st Century, called the investigation reminiscent of COINTELPRO. It's suspicious, and those are civil liberties violations using the Patriot Acts and Homeland Security, he said. We have to be very vigilant when looking at domestic surveillance and investigations, said longtime educator and activist. COINTELPRO was an FBI-led civil rights and Black Power era undercover program used to disrupt, discredit, and destroy Black leaders and organizations. Its nefarious work included pitting groups against one another. And when you look inside this platform, that's all it does is pit groups against one another. Infiltrating groups and often trying to entice members into illegal acts or acts with weapons and putting comrades in the justice struggle against one another. Its stated aim was to prevent the rise of a Black Messiah that could unite the groups and bring youth into social and political activism. Dr. Daniels also condemned the operations as religious profiling of the Nation of Islam, given its broad range of contacts and engagement with Muslim leaders, the Muslim world, and others internationally. Right? And also in the article, one of the brothers stated that, Nation of Islam leadership is not enough for Homeland Security to investigate on the Nation of Islam. Our leadership has nothing to do with Homeland Security. Family? So, again, I'm making this video short, but we want to know everything that was being said in that 3-hour conversation. If he had it recorded or if he can get a copy of that conversation, or if we can somehow get a copy of that 3-hour conversation, we want to hear the contents of what was said in that conversation. See, he shouldn't have said that, because Homeland Security has does not have a good agenda on behalf of the Nation of Islam. So what this brother had revealed to us further shows us that some of us are willingly assisting the enemy to try to destroy in the Nation of Islam and our leadership. Because again, when you go and watch these interviews, he's attacking Nation of Islam leadership. He doesn't like the way the Nation of Islam is being ran and being governed. And he is taking little petty BS arguments, right, as dissatisfaction. And when you listen to him, basically what he is saying is he is being fed information by former dissatisfied members of the Nation of Islam. People are coming to him saying what they don't like about the Nation of Islam, and he's speaking on that. But he's not in the Nation of Islam. Neter told a bold-faced lie and said that we ain't selling the messenger's books, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's books in the mosque no more. And if we talk about the books and we teach the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, members of the Nation of Islam are being put out. He told that to Melchesidek, who's supposed to be a FOI, letting the lost found tell him what's going on in the mosque. But when you go to Savior's Day or when you go to the mosque, the books are being sold there. See? So they telling bold-faced lies, right? Peace to you, Brother Ben X. I'm gonna send you the clip. The brother said, I don't know if you missed it or how long you've been in the chat, but the brother specifically said that he was on the phone with Homeland Security for 3 hours and they wanted to question him. And they was impressed of how much of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that he actually knew. So I just read an article and I posted the article to the Final Call newspaper in my description. I posted the link in the description where Homeland Security specifically said, I'm gonna share my screen with y'all again. Here it is. Where Homeland Security specifically titled a document called Nation of Islam, Uncertain Leadership Succession Poses Risk. Okay, and it says, while newspaper reports said Homeland Security improperly gathered information in 2007 as part of its speculation about who might succeed the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as the leader of the Nation of Islam. See, they are concerned. I'll leave it up for y'all, my bad. They are concerned with who will be the successor, of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That is posing a risk to Homeland Security. And then you got Negroes, so-called brothers, who are sitting on the phone with Homeland Security for 3 hours straight answering their questions. So again, we want the Nation of Islam, the contents of the conversation that this brother had with Homeland Security. For 3 hours, what do you got 3 hours to say to Homeland Security? I don't understand that. So again, I'll repeat what I said earlier, then I'm going to let you all go. That if Homeland, because again, Melchesidek said in the interview with Neter that they have been watching all of his videos. They know exactly who he is. So if they're watching all his videos, Don't y'all think that they are watching all those people who oppose the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam? Don't y'all think that they are also reaching out to these individuals, questioning them and asking them questions about the Nation of Islam? Because if they reached out to him, then who else are they reaching out to? That is not saying that they spoke to Homeland Security. Could it be young Pharaoh, Sarah Sudi, and all these other cats who condemned the Nation of Islam and attacked Nation of Islam leadership? Yeah, I mean, we'll get the clip. Brother Nicer, 182, we'll get the clip. You know, but I'm going to show you how much the enemies are interested in the affairs of Allah, His Christ, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the Nation of Islam. I'm going to download it, Brother Ben. We're gonna get it. We're going to get the video. But Allah allowed me to see that. Run into that Final Call newspaper article just on a whim, just doing regular research. I was not expecting to see what I saw, but I knew it was strange of what this man said in that interview. That just didn't sit well with me. I'm like, what? Like, you was on the phone with Homeland Security for 3 hours? You know, so again, that's why this video is titled, "Are you a part of a conspiracy and not even know it? Are you a real black nationalist?" Because a real black nationalist is not trying to divide up the black community, not trying to divide up the black nationalist community. They are trying to unite with their brothers and sisters from all walks of life. That's what a true black nationalist does. And that's further proof that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is that Messiah, and he could bring together and electrify the masses of the black community and the black nationalist community. And that's why he doesn't attack other black people. Again, and I'll repeat what I said again a little earlier for those who just came in, that do y'all want to know the reason why the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan does not verbally attack those who attack him? That's because when the enemy kills you, they can't blame it on him. Because the enemy hates the minister so much that they will kill you just to blame it on him and destroy him and everything that he built. So that's how wise the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is, that he learned his mistakes from yesterday and won't make the same mistakes today in 2020. So this is your brother, Malcolm Flex TV. I don't mean to hold you all long. I just wanted to do this video and share this information with those who are sitting in front of us, in front of these cameras, and they acting and they pretending like they know what they talking about, but they really don't know what they talking about. And we're going to call them to the mat every time. Okay, and it's important that brothers and sisters see the truth, because if these brothers and sisters are working with the enemy, they're not going to tell you who they are and what their motives are. So we got to be intelligent enough. We got to be patient enough. We got to be wise enough to really look into what they're saying and interpret, and look into the questions and the motives of what they're saying, okay, on a spiritual level, because only Allah allows us the power of discernment, okay? So if you don't have the ability to discern what you are hearing and what you are seeing, then you will be led into a pit, and you will be led into a trap, into think that you can attack the minister and the Nation of Islam because you think you're doing God a service. but you're really doing yourself a disservice. So again, this is your brother, Malcolm Flex TV. Again, if you want the links to the article and you want the link to the video of the interview that they did, they are in my description. I appreciate you all for tuning in. This is your brother, Malcolm Flex TV. Peace and assalamu alaikum.